Hi, my name is Nata. I'm 21 years old and I come from Tbilisi, which is the capital of Georgia. It's a small country situated right between Europe and Asia. I study English philology at Flex International University, but I'm also part of English teacher training program, which is integrated into our philology studies. So I'm preparing to become a future educator.
Hi, my name is Lile. I'm from Georgia and I'm an English philology major at International Black Sea University. Along with my main major, I'm also undertaking a teacher training program.
Hello, I'm Keti, also from Georgia, and actually we're group mates, so we study in the same field, English philology, and we're all teacher training program students.
Growing up, I would always hear stories about people who studied abroad and came back completely changed, and I always knew that I wanted to experience that for myself one day. As for main reasons, I mostly wanted to grow as a person, become independent, experience a different educational setting, and just challenge myself. As I already said, I come from a small but diverse country that is right where Europe meets Asia. So for young people like us, opportunities such as Erasmus mean much more than just studying abroad. It's a way to feel connected to Europe and to the wider world. So that's why when I came across this opportunity, I knew that I had to make best of it.
I decided to apply for Erasmus because I felt that I needed a change in perspective, both academically and personally. I wanted to see how education works in a different system and also to experience a different teaching approach. And personally, I wanted to get more outside my comfort zone and try living in a entirely new environment. And I felt that studying abroad is a perfect opportunity to experience all of those things.
So in my case, I'll always be interested in cultures and different people, so I knew that Erasmus would be a great opportunity to know other people and be in the culturally diverse environment, and I wanted to try that. And at the same time, I wanted to try the new educational system, how it works in Hungary. I was really interested, and that's the reason why I decided to participate in this program.
When I first came across to this Erasmus opportunity, I started doing some research on my own, and I discovered that ELTE is one of the most prominent universities, not only in Hungary but across all Europe, with a very rich and long academic history. As for ELTE TÓK, I thought it would be particularly interesting for me because back at home by that time I had learned a lot of theory, but I hadn't really seen how any of it worked in practice. So I thought that this faculty would give me a chance to experience how any of it works or how children are taught and raised in these bilingual settings. I had also talked to previous participants of this program before from my university, and they all had nothing but amazing things to say. And I was also lucky enough to attend open lectures delivered by Miss Maya Bello around 2 years ago when she visited our university. I felt really inspired by her passion, and I knew that I wanted to learn from professors like her.
Well, at my home university, I'm also taking a teacher training program, so education has been a very big part of my student life. And I've heard really great things about the Hungarian education system, and ELTE in particular being one of the most prestigious universities in Europe. So I especially like the Faculty of Primary and Preschool Education because of its practical approach to education. From what I've observed here, it really focuses on making sure that you're getting education not only from the teacher's perspective, but also from the child's perspective as well, which I think is which also goes well with my values of what I think meaningful and effective education is.
And for me, before I would come here, I searched a little about ELTE, and I found out that in the Faculty of Primary and Preschool Education, they have an offer it's called placement, observation and teaching, and you are able to go to school, in bilingual school, and observe students, teachers, their teaching methods, and also be a part of teaching process itself. And I really wanted to take this chance, and that's the main reason why I decided to come here.
Studying at ELTE TÓK feels much more different than my home university. First of all, because classes here are much more practical and interactive, and the whole approach to teaching and assessment feels very different too. For example, grading here is based on 5-point scale, while at my home university we use 100-point system. Also, back at home, the whole assessment is based on midterm and final exams with lots of quizzes and presentations during the semester. While here, most of the courses just finish with a practical grade, which gives us a perfect opportunity to apply what I have learned in real teaching situations.
My experiences at ELTE TÓK have been really positive. The classes are really engaging, interactive, and practice-oriented. But what I've appreciated the most is how open and supportive the atmosphere is. There's a very strong sense of community here that really allows you to participate, share your ideas, and actively engage in classrooms.
So in Georgia, studies are more theoretical. We learn lots of theoretical materials. And what's different in Hungary is that you need more practical activities, you are doing more hands-on activities, which gives us a better opportunity to develop in our field and learn more around the subject or the class itself.
It's really hard to choose from, but if I had to, I would say intercultural communication. And mainly because of this pure, unfiltered joy and positivity it would bring me every Thursday afternoon. And I think a big part of it was our wonderful teacher, Miss Eva, who made sure that every class was fun and meaningful. And through that course, I made so many close friends from across the world, like Northern Ireland, Spain, Italy, Germany, and so on. And we shared so many parts of our culture. We cooked traditional food at international food parties, and even at Easter party, we boiled and painted the eggs by ourselves. So I think those moments really brought us together.
I really enjoyed all the courses that I took this semester, but my favorite was definitely English language development through literature, where we covered African American literature. And as a reader and an English philology student, I specifically really loved this course because it really taught us how to approach the material in a new and often overlooked perspectives.
So for me, one of the best classes was the class of phonetics, because during these classes we had to work on our pronunciation, and as a person who does not speak English as a native language, it's very important for us to develop our pronunciation. And as a future teacher also, I wanted to know how to work on this case with my students. So the teacher really inspired me how to teach the pronunciation aspects to my students and how to help them to develop their language usage for the future.
I remember my first day here, I was feeling very nervous and didn't really know what to expect. And I had my first class with Miss Eva, and the first thing she told us to do was stand in the middle of the room and start singing and dancing. And I was so shocked because I didn't really have to experience that before during the classes. So it was a bit of a challenge to get used to at first, but then I quickly learned to love it because I realized that they really teach you what it feels like to work with real children in real classroom settings. And mostly I really didn't expect to fall so deeply in love with Budapest, and like the moment I arrived, not for a single moment I ever felt out of place here. So I didn't really see it coming that Budapest would feel like a second home to me, but now it really feels like that.
Before coming here, I expected the courses to be really formal and academic, so when my classes started, I was really surprised when it involved a lot of dancing and singing. So most of the time, the classes felt like social gatherings and fun learning activities rather than traditional classrooms. So it was something that I had to get used to, but I really learned to appreciate over time.
So for me, the most unexpected thing was that Hungarian people, how welcoming they are, because I didn't know anything about the Hungary and the Hungarian people itself, so I didn't know what should I have expected. I had lots of questions, like where am I going, what kind of society will there be? And since I came here, I can see that they are very welcoming towards the foreigners, they are very helpful, and they are very warm towards others. And I'm happy that my first experience out of my country was Hungary, and I turned out to be in this kind of society that really accepted me as who I am and really helped me in different cases.
Teachers and students at ELTE TÓK were great support in helping us adjust to living in a completely new place where nothing feels familiar at first. But they were generally so kind and helpful and friendly, ready to help us with anything, anytime. They would share some advice on which places to explore, which food to try, and generally how to navigate the city in general. So I think this warm, safe, and friendly atmosphere that they have here is a huge part of what made this whole Erasmus experience so special for me.
Everyone was extremely welcoming, especially the teachers were really friendly and approachable. But what I appreciated the most was how much they taught us about the Hungarian culture and the everyday life here. They really put a much effort to making sure that we had the best experiences possible. I also really appreciated my classmates, and they were really friendly and helpful, and they really made me feel like a part of a community here as an international student.
So were with, teachers were very friendly, very understanding, and very outgoing with the students. And about the local students itself, they were very friendly as well, to be honest. And what I noticed is that they love to talk with us, especially about their countries, their cultures. They love to introduce their everyday lifestyle to us. And because of them, I learned a lot about Hungary.